Hello and welcome to our channel, Top 10s You Should Know. Let me ask you something simple. How easily can you get up off the floor without using your hands? Or bend down to tie your shoes without holding your breath? See, these aren't just movements, they're early predictors of how mobile you'll be in the future. The scary truth is, most people lose mobility not because of sudden illness or accidents, but because they stop moving the right way day after day. Over time, muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and before you know it, simple tasks become impossible. But what if I told you that by paying attention to 10 everyday movements, you could predict and even protect your future independence? Let's explore the top 10 everyday movements that predict your future mobility. 1. Getting up from a chair without using your hands. If you need to push off the arms of a chair or use your hands to get up from a seated position, it's a warning sign that your lower body strength is fading. Your thighs, glutes, and core should do the heavy lifting, and when they don't, it puts extra strain on your joints and increases fall risk as you age. This simple test reflects your leg power and balance, and it's often used by physical therapists to assess long-term mobility. If it feels tough now, don't panic. Use it as a cue to start strengthening those muscles. Practicing sit to stands daily without hands is a small investment with a huge payoff later in life. 2. Walking upstairs without holding the railing. Climbing stairs without needing support requires a strong core, steady balance, and powerful legs, all essential for aging well. If you instinctively grab the railing or go one step at a time, your stability may already be compromised. That's not something to ignore. This movement tests coordination and joint strength, especially in your knees and hips. Struggling now could mean limited mobility later, possibly even needing assistance devices. But here's the good news. Stair climbing is also one of the best ways to rebuild strength and endurance. Start slow, focus on posture, and over time, you'll see both strength and confidence grow. 3. Balancing on one foot for 10 seconds. How well you balance on one leg can predict your risk of falling and even your lifespan. Studies show that people who can't hold a single leg balance for at least 10 seconds are at higher risk of injury and mobility loss as they age. It sounds simple, but this movement challenges your ankles, hips, core, and brain all at once. If you wobble or fall out of it quickly, it's your body saying, I need more stability training. Practicing this daily, even while brushing your teeth, can dramatically improve balance over time. Because staying upright is one of the most underrated skills we lose without realizing it. 4. Squatting to pick something up from the floor. Your ability to squat reflects hip flexibility, ankle mobility, and strength in your entire lower body. If you avoid squatting and instead bend from your back or groan every time you drop something, that's a mobility red flag. Over time, the joints stiffen, muscles weaken, and the motion becomes painful or impossible. But squatting is a basic human movement we need well into old age, whether it's to garden, lift a grandchild, or just sit on the toilet. Practicing deep, safe squats regularly keeps your hips open, knees healthy, and your spine supported. If this movement feels hard now, don't wait for it to disappear altogether. 5. Reaching overhead without arching your back. You should be able to reach up without pain, strain, or contorting your spine. But if your shoulders are tight or your upper back is stiff, you'll compensate by arching. And that's a recipe for chronic pain and injury. Shoulder mobility tends to decrease as we age, especially if we sit a lot or don't lift our arms often. If you can't lift something overhead with control and stability, your range of motion is already declining. That limits your ability to carry groceries, hang curtains, or even dress yourself in the future. Shoulder stretches, wall angels, and overhead lifts with light weights can preserve this crucial function, so don't shrug it off. 6. Twisting at the waist without pain or stiffness. Rotation is one of the first ranges of motion we lose, and one we often overlook. If turning your torso feels tight, painful, or just restricted, it means your spine, obliques, and core aren't moving like they should. This shows up in everyday things like turning while driving, reaching across a counter, or even dancing. Lack of rotation is also linked to back pain and stiffness as you age. Simple core twists, mobility drills, and dynamic stretches can bring it back, but only if you notice its absence now. Keep your spine supple and you keep life flowing freely. 7. Touching your toes without bending your knees. This isn't about showing off flexibility. It's about assessing your hamstrings, lower back, and spinal mobility. If you can't come close to your toes without bending your knees or feeling pain, that means tension has taken over. That tightness may seem harmless now, but over time, it leads to bad posture, back strain, and poor circulation. Toe touching reflects how connected your upper and lower body are. Daily stretching, yoga, and foam rolling can bring flexibility back, but it all starts with knowing where you stand or stretch today. 8. Crawling or moving on all fours, comfortably. Crawling sounds childish, but it's one of the most fundamental movements for total body coordination. If getting onto all fours feels awkward or painful, your core, shoulders, and hips may be aging faster than you think. Crawling builds cross-body coordination, something that helps prevent falls, maintain brain function, and support spine health. It's also a low-impact way to build strength across multiple joints. Just a minute or two a day of baby crawls or bear crawls can reignite muscles you forgot you had. It may feel silly, but your body will feel the benefits immediately. 9. Lunging forward without losing balance. Lunging reflects single-leg strength, hip mobility, and dynamic balance, all of which are key to staying agile as you age. If you can't lunge without falling to the side or losing form, you may lack the muscle support needed for uneven terrain or quick movement. This is especially important for things like climbing stairs, stepping over obstacles, or avoiding slips. Practicing lunges slowly and with proper form, even next to a wall for support, helps strengthen your legs and stabilize your core. It's a test and a training tool wrapped in one. 10. Sitting down on the floor, and again getting back up. This movement might be the single best predictor of long-term independence. If you can get down to the floor and stand back up without using your hands, it shows full body strength, flexibility, and balance. If you need to grab onto furniture or push off your knees, it means some of that coordination is slipping. Why does this matter? Because the ability to rise from the ground is directly tied to longevity. It's not just about mobility, it's about freedom. Practice it often. Modify it if you need to, but never stop trying to preserve it. And there you have it. 10 everyday movements that quietly reveal how well your body will move years from now. These aren't workouts. They're reflections. Little tests your body performs every day to tell you if it's staying strong or slowly slipping. The earlier you notice the signs, the more time you have to turn things around. So, how many of these movements can you do with ease? And which ones are already feeling harder than they used to? Tell us in the comments. We want to hear your story, your goals, and your progress. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights from Top 10s You Should Know.